Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue with more Supra work. Now that the front side is completely prepared with all that sound deadening foam, I can now focus on the trunk. That is going to require a special preparation versus what I did to the front, but of course it's going to end with also applying some type of sound deadening material, which I'm going to go with something a little different than what I used in the front. And if you guys kept up with the shorts, then you guys seen that I've just taken care of like all of the smaller details like the transmission tunnel and just a couple other things on the Supra. So that's what I've been focusing more on. But now that I have the final layout of what I want to do with the trunk, I'm going to show you guys why it's going to require special preparation before even getting that material on there. This is the current condition of my trunk. And we do see that there's a lot of little imperfections like drill marks, there's holes, and there's a lot of cutouts all throughout. Well, these just being the main two. Now, I'm not sure what they had going on back here, but my Supra used to be owned by a shop. So it was a track-built Supra, and it was hitting really good numbers. So maybe they had an aftermarket fuel tank, or they had like one of those external cooling systems back here, or maybe they even had a NOS setup. I'm not really sure, but I definitely have to patch up these holes because this is going to be the layout for the trunk. We're going to have the fuse box here, relays here, and we're going to have the battery here. So very sleek, and I think it's going to be a really nice design, given that, you know, we'll have, of course, like the subwoofers on the side, and everything else will look pretty good. But before I can get any material in here, and before I can get any of the panels in here, I definitely should patch these up first. So today's focus is going to be on cutting and welding. I'm going to be using my plasma cutter from Bestarc to cut into a steel sheet of metal, and I'm probably even going to be using my all-in-one welder to get that tacked back on there. Now guys, to be honest, I am not a great welder. I'm not even a good welder, and I probably should be practicing more. So in case I'm struggling in that part of the process, then I'm going to call in a fellow welder to help me out. So I'm going to show you what the plasma cutter comes with, what it does, explain a little bit more about it, and we're gonna get into cutting. How exciting. Wish me luck. I introduced to you the BTC 500 XP plasma cutter from Bestarc. It comes with absolutely everything needed to start cutting metal, like the plasma torch, ground clamp, a power adapter, power tips, electrodes, clamps, a wrench, a CNC connection pigtail for automated cutting systems, and an air hose. In order for this to operate properly, an air compressor will be needed, at least 70 psi, so even a small tabletop compressor will do. This thing can be used to cut solid thick metal all the way to a thinly graded sheet. If you're wondering if this can cut anything else but metal, no it can't unless it's conductive. I ran into a little problem. So on the display of the plasma cutter, it's throwing a code, E05, which means that I'm probably not pulling enough amperage from the wall outlets that are outside of the house. So this is actually not giving me enough voltage to cut into anything. So I called the general contractor of the property and I just asked, you know, maybe if I'm gonna need a generator or if there's something else that I can use. And he's actually gonna come over and make it work. And luckily, he's also gonna bring his welder so I can get both things going at once. You guys hear it? It works, guys. So the plasma cutter is building enough pressure, and that's exactly why it was not working. So it wasn't the amperage from the wall connectors or the voltage coming out of the machine itself. It was just not building enough pressure, but we got it, we figured it out, and let's start cutting. Gotta go measure it first. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Perfect, perfect. Oh yeah, better than what I did. Let's see. Okay, so it'll cover exactly that whole piece.
You got it. Oh, you like yeah. Hey, this is awesome! Whoa!
Okay, good. It got a little crooked.
This is like start like where you gonna cut it at? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
don't get too excited.
I know, right? This one's straight. Perfect. So right now what he's doing is he's propping out the metal since it was kind of bent inwards into the frame. So he's propping it out, so that's going to give him like enough room to weld that plate like right over the cuts. Whereas I was just trying to, you know, weld inside of like the cut area. So it's actually supposed to be done on the outside of it, you know, but either or. So that's pretty cool. I'm learning. You know what? Maybe I should start taking some welding classes. So it's like even and it goes into that frame, yeah. So you keep tapping the same to fill up that hole?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Like you keep going over the same one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's try it.
Oh.
Too much?
Yeah, too much. So
it's at an angle
tap,
or
like,
tap straight?
Tap
así.
Like tap. Alright. You go like this, like. You see that?
Okay.
You just tap it. Don't hold it. Like just like a couple seconds.
Así. Let me see.
There. Yeah.
Like that.
Keep going in place. Yeah, break. Rub it.
Okay.
You have to rub it. Like yeah,
Así.
Yeah. There you.
Ah, okay. It's like the frame. Wow. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Now you start from the bottom to the top.
Yeah.
But why? Is it because that's where you tacked it, or?
Yeah, because on top. The trash from this.
Yeah.
It goes down, so it'll block the metal to weld. Like once you weld, the trash, the no good material, it goes down. That metal right there?
Yeah, just that metal, that corner, like that.
All right. Too strong. Let it cool down.
Look how clean that came out. Oh my gosh, it looks great. It looks like it's part of the frame. There's no more hole. Yes. So remember guys, fuse box, relays, battery. Hi guys, welcome back. So this is going to be part 2 of the vlog and hopefully part final. I know nothing's ever really final when working with a project car, because if that was the case, then my car probably would have been done years ago, huh? But anyway, so part of the trunk is done and it's complete and it looks really great. So we successfully welded that piece on, just how you guys seen in the last clip, and it looks really good. You know, all I have to do is kind of just like smoothen it out, grind it just a little bit more, and I think it's gonna look pretty amazing. Of course, it's not gonna look OEM. It still looks like something was, you know, laid over that panel, but I mean, it's better than just having nothing there. So that's what I think. And plus I need something to like bolt my relays on top of that, so that was essential. There's another piece that's missing though, and there's 2 ways that I can go about getting that piece back into the trunk. So my friend Chuan, he has somebody in Chicago who's actually parting out his Supra, and he was willing to cut the entire trunk piece, so then I can, you know, cut mine off and then weld that one in its place. I'm a little iffy about that, and I think that's very extreme for, you know, just the repair that I'm going with. So this is kind of why I just went the route of just taking, you know, a standard sheet of metal, cutting it up, and then fabbing it onto that space that's missing. It's going to be a little different because technically I would have to bend the metal and shape it to fit in that little circular well area. And it's like 2 bends that I would need to do. So it's like a vertical bend coming outward in like this, up, and then like that. So that's a little, you know, tricky because I have no experience in bending metal. And I mean, I did watch, of course, some videos videos, and I know that there are like tools that I can get, and that's exactly what we're gonna get today. So I'm gonna give it a try, and hopefully it comes out successful. And if not, don't worry guys, because I have that trunk panel on speed dial. So if this doesn't work out, then that's what we're gonna get in, and we're just gonna cut it out and then weld it over. But hopefully we'll see. So that's what we're gonna do for today. This is what I found, guys. 22 gauge sheet of metal and then 16 gauge sheet of metal, which this is the exact same size that we used last time. I mean, it's thin. It's something that I can almost like even bend like with my hand. I just don't know if it's too thin. That's the thing. So this is what I got, and this is what I'm working with. We have this 16 gauge sheet of metal here, and I got a couple of these metal seamers, a long one and a shorter one, and some grinders. So I think this should be more than enough of what I'm going to need. So far from what I calculate, I'm gonna need about this much. Now let's go check over the trunk space. The good thing is that I noticed I'm not gonna have to flare out the metal here. It's just gonna have to cover around this area. Of course, I'm just gonna grind down some of this paint to get enough exposure. And I think the only difficult part really is just gonna be bending it over. But as long as I can get a good bend mark, then I can just try to like grind it down so it just fits like the shape of the rest of this wall here. Now I am gonna have to bring down the tank. So let's bring down this tank. So before I lift the Supra, I wanted to show you guys something. It fits well. But the thing is, and this is where I had to get creative, is how am I going to make these bend marks? There's supposed to be a bend mark here and on the other side because it's gonna cover roundly this wheel well. So how do I get that done, right? I mean, I have a hammer, I have a chisel, and I'm thinking maybe I could put it around something else that's, you know, firm, that's probably made out of metal, and then I could just kind of like beat the sides up a little bit, which typically that's what I've seen like metal fabricators do. And I mean, it worked for them. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I might have to go that route just to give this that shape that it's gonna need. Remember guys, where there's a will, there's a way. So this is what I've seen metal fabricators do in their videos, and look, it's actually working because it's getting that round shape that I need. Now, how round does it have to be? I have to keep checking, so I have to keep going back and forth to the Supra and back here just to kind of like easily calculate that. But it is looking good. So see how it's not too bent in, but it seems to cover this entire area with enough space, of course, so it just like floats around that flared part. Now I just have to get a better estimate of where I'm gonna bend it and where I'm gonna cut it. Maybe cut it with enough space right here, just so it can still go over that part right there. Maybe like even if it's a little over, just so I could kind of shape it in. I did notice that there are these little studs that stick out, and this is where the fuel tank cover sits on top of, and I think this is one of them, and I think that's the other one right there. So I'm gonna pull up that reference on the manual book. I don't believe it even goes on this, which is great. So they cut in between those markings right there. Okay, well, let's get this on the table so then I can figure out the sizing and where I'm gonna cut. Okay, so this is what 45 minutes of beating looks like, and it took shape, and it actually covers that wall pretty good. So let me show you guys. I think this is what I'm gonna go with. I'm probably just gonna have to flare it in a little bit more from the sides once I cut off like the additional piece, because yeah, that was way too much. I obviously miscalculated. Now seeing it from the back, I definitely have to just round that middle part a little bit more, the sides just a bit more. And if we go on this side, how does it look there? Oh yeah, with enough space. But as soon as I cut off this excess, Then I'll be able to shape it a little bit better. And of course, it's not the prettiest. I mean, you could see all the, the blow marks, but you know, if it works, it works. And as long as it seals, that's great. And just keep in mind, guys, this is mostly all getting covered. So I'm not going that crazy, but you know, just like this inner trunk area. So this is the final piece, guys. Check it out. I know it looks a little funky, but look at how it sits on top of the well. Flushed. There's a little gap here, but I can't do anything about that. Every time I kept pushing this in, then this kept getting irregular, and then same with the other side. So this is the best it's gonna look. Check this side out. This side I think came out a lot better. It's a little bit more tight onto the frame. Now, as long as this weld's fine, then that's really what matters. That's the main goal here, because I don't want it to be an open space. I want everything to be sealed. And I'm probably gonna cut either straight here, or I'm gonna cut like this, and then I could probably shape it. I'm not sure what these holes are for, so I have to check the diagrams for that. And of course, we see that this is not even a perfect circle, so it fits. It looks good even from the outside. So hopefully it does weld well, and that's what we're gonna check out right now. Got to clean up the surface first. No, Chin Chin. That's good. I am no professional welder, guys, but that panel is completely welded onto the frame. Check it out. Now, I still need to spend at least another hour or two to just grind out the sides so it does smoothen out completely. And I did have some troubles trying to get that weld to tack on. So I kept going back onto the same weld because I just wasn't able to grab like the actual panel with the frame. So I was struggling, but I didn't give up, and that's the whole point. And I mean, I was patient with myself because I just know that that's just part of the process of learning something new. Just kind of got to keep going, and I definitely need more practice. But for the amount of errors that I did, I mean, it still came out really great. So I'm super excited. And this is going to conclude today's vlog. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. And I will catch you guys next time so we can start getting that inlay and all that material back into the trunk. Well, take care, guys. Stay tuned. Bye.